Welcome to BFM's 3 p.m. News. I am your presenter, Narissa Bostwick. On the local scene, a men's empowerment business symposium organized by the Center for Enterprise Development, Inc., CED, will be held next week under the Technical Assistance for Men's Employment and Entrepreneurship Development themed project. The symposium will be held on Thursday, June 19th under the theme Power in Connection, Collaborating and Networking for Men's Business Growth, as participants in the themed project, innovators, entrepreneurs, financial institutions, and business agencies meet to discuss challenges and solutions that are affecting the micro, small, and medium enterprises sector here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Men's Empowerment Business Symposium begins at 9 a.m. at the Kingstown Baptist Church with an opening ceremony, which will be addressed by the Minister of Finance, Economic Development, and Information Technology, Honorable Camille Gonzalez, Minister of Housing, Youth and Sports, Honorable Orlando Brewster, and the CED General Manager, Mistress Ronette Lewis. Lecturer, author, and business consultant, Dr. Julian Ferdinand, will deliver the feature address on the theme for the Business Symposium. Following the opening ceremony, participants and guests will be engaged in a panel discussion at 10 a.m. on the topic, Strategic Investment for Innovation and Sustainable Business Growth. The afternoon segment of the event will feature a business fair. World Pediatrics Neurosurgery and Craniofacial Medical teams held a dual clinic at the Milton Kate Memorial Hospital on June 8, where they evaluated 74 children across both specialties from St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica, Antigua, and St. Kitts. The neurosurgery team focused on children with neurological issues affecting the brain, spine, or nervous system, while the craniofacial team treated those with developmental conditions like cleft lip and palate or traumatic facial injuries. The neurosurgery team, led by Dr. Gary Tai, pediatric neurosurgeon, saw 43 children and completed 4 surgeries throughout a 3-day period from June 9 to 11th. The craniofacial team, led by Dr. Jennifer Rhodes, pediatric plastic and craniofacial surgeon, saw 31 children and completed 13 surgeries within the same time frame. Dr. Jennifer Rhodes said it was a great opportunity to work with 2 local surgeons, Dr. Jasmine Davy Ellis and Dr. Cumberbatch, on a patient with a burn scar to the face. Some of the other highlights mentioned were completing combined pediatric neurosurgery and plastic surgery cases that had never been done before and the high volume of cases from across the islands. She also highlighted Dr. Tai first time did a pediatric tumor resection, so it's nice to bring that skill to the island. Both teams were sponsored by the Mustig Charitable Foundation. The organization is now preparing for its next team to SVG, being the General Orthopedics team on June 22nd. The Graduates Calypso will be hosting its preliminary show tonight, June 13th. The tent will make a presentation of a 17-person cast with its show dubbed Kaiso to the World. The tent boasts a mix of persons from throughout the length and breadth of SVG, including the Grenadines, and a set of topics ranging from serious political and social commentary to humorous and up-tempo songs. The tent says patrons can be guaranteed a great show come this evening. The venue for the show is the Russell's Auditorium. The Carnival Development Corporation, CDC, is inviting managers, producers, artists, and members of the public to the 2025 Soca Monarch Preliminaries happening today, June 13th, at Victoria Park starting at 6 p.m. The event will feature some of the nation's soca and raga soca acts competing for a spot in the Bacchanal Bay Soca Monarch Finals. Admission to the event is free. On to regional news. A United States U.S. citizen on her first visit to Barbados has promised never to find herself in the same position after she agreed to bring in a family friend's suitcase but failed to check its contents, ultimately importing illegal drugs into the island. Shakina Lynette James appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Dedri McKenna, where she was fined 80,000 Barbados dollars to be paid forthwith or jailed for 12 months. The 40-year-old woman pleaded guilty to 4 drug-related offenses, including the importation of cannabis valued at $176,000. James of Massachusetts Avenue, Southwest Marietta in Georgia, was accused of possession, trafficking, possession with intent to supply, and the importation of 24.2 pounds of cannabis. The court heard that James arrived at the Grantley Adams International Airport on board a Delta flight from Atlanta, and after clearing immigration, she collected a hard-shell suitcase and proceeded to customs, where she was interviewed by the relevant authorities. Her bag was searched and 20 black vacuum-sealed packages were discovered containing vegetable matter. The police were contacted. James told the court that a few days before boarding the flight, her deceased husband's friend asked her if she wanted to be a part of his entourage on his trip to Barbados, and she agreed. He provided her with the flight information and other details. He took her to the airport and asked her to take his luggage with hers as he was flying in the following day. She went along with his request. James was convicted on the charge of a trafficking offense and was reprimanded and discharged on the remaining charges. In wake of the U.S. government threatening sanctions against countries that make use of the Cuban Labor Export Program, Guyana's Vice President Barra Jagdeo revealed on Thursday that the government is now rethinking its plan to hire healthcare workers from Cuba. According to News Source Guyana, Mr. Jagdeo said at a press conference that the government will still be looking into bringing professionals from Cuba, but under specific conditions. He also said that the government will be looking at other countries as well to fill the labor shortage in the healthcare sector. Mr. Jagdeo said while the government has lots of countries it can seek healthcare professionals from, the aim is to get many Guyanese as possible trained to work in the system. He maintained that there is a shortage in the system, and with the new hospitals coming on stream, that shortage is expected to grow. And finally in the news at this hour, Israel has launched unprecedented strikes on Iran, targeting its nuclear program and military leaders. The attacks have continued across multiple cities across the nation, and the Iranian state media reports that fresh strikes are hitting Tehran. Iran's foreign minister said that Israel will deeply regret its attack. General Hossein Salami, the commander-in-chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard and one of the country's most powerful figures, was killed in the attack. U.S. President Donald Trump told CNN News that the U.S. of course supports Israel in its actions. He warned Iran earlier today to agree to a nuclear deal before there is nothing left. It is unclear if scheduled nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran will go ahead this weekend. This has been WeFM's 3 p.m. News. I have been your presenter, Narissa Bostwick. Do join us once again at 5:30 p.m. when we will bring you our next newscast.